Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Anditesh Shorto, and today I want to cover L3-37. Now, I have covered her multiple times in the past, especially since she was on my top 10. Well, she was uh, she was not on the actual 10 list. She was an honorable mention. But since L3-37's been released, I want to theorize some teams that she might actually work with for droids. Um, so yeah, I just want to show off 10 teams. One of which has been done by a YouTuber, which has recently became a game changer, Urzatron. Urzatron tried a team. He does the Lobot versus the Meta series. Really great series. It's fun to watch, even though the only team I've noticed him win against a almost meta. Well, it was a meta team. Except it was the Rex led team. Everything the same except instead of Wampa it was Nest. Probably just because they only had Nest and not Wampa. Makes sense. But yeah, Lobot's team defeated it. Lost only two characters out of the five, out of the three. He had three left. So, but Urzatron, definitely check him out on his channel. He also does a couple of other factions against the meta, like Scoundrels and Tuskens. Oh, it's great. Also, Urzatron, if you're hearing this, you gotta try Tuskens with Nest and Wampa. See how they do that way. But anyways, so yeah, Lobot's team of L3, BB-8, IG-88, and Imperial Probe Droid. It's a really cool team. Lobot keeps the cleanses up. L3 actually heals. BB-8 does some healing. Imperial Probe Droid dispels, and both Probe and IG-88 both have the target lock combos going. So it's really, really unique. So, but yeah, I liked it. I really like this team composition. So yeah, the next one I want to suggest for anyone that wants to try it. Another reason why I'm doing these teams is because not a lot of game changers have been covering it. Urzatron's one. I bet there are some other videos out there, but all the game changers that I actually normally watch on a daily to weekly basis, or bi-daily, every other day, something like that, they don't really cover L3 much. They try L3 and Scoundrel teams, but unfortunately, Scoundrel teams aren't going to get much. So that's why I'm throwing in some of these ideas. Maybe people can play around with it, and so on. And also, I will say this: HK is the best lead for droids. The second best is Lobot, and actually the third best, in my opinion, because obviously it's not Grievous, is Akbar. Outside of the fact, yes, there is a Jedi training raid team with L3 on it that someone else has done in video, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, here's Lobot with R2, L3, Chopper, and IG-88. This one does not have BB-8, so you lose some of the speed, but you should theoretically have a very fast R2 and Chopper taunting early on, as well as L3 would be early taunting as well. IG-88, of course, is the damage dealer. Oh, and I forgot to say, this list does not. This list of 10 does not have any of the Jedi Training Ray leaderships. So, but for the most part, yeah, we'll go from there. The next Lobot team I've constructed. Sorry for the loading. Is not my fault on the loading though. But is Lobot L3-37, Imperial Probe Droid, IG-88, and B2 Super Battle Droid. Now I will say I got this idea from a person that was watching Cubs Fan Han on one of his live streams in the last. From this is today's, when I'm recording this is 6/18, so within the last 7 days from 6/18/2018, there was someone in the comments that kept trying to push Cubs Fan Han to do a team with L3, and this was one of the suggested teams. It was a mixture between this and HK with this same exact team. He said it apparently worked. I don't know, but you do get two dispellers between Super Battle Droid and Probe Droid. You got the tank from L3. You got the you got the heal and the heal from L3 as well. But you also got some heal and cleanse from Lobot, and then you got the damage from IG-88, as well as the eventual explosion from Probe Droid. If he ever gets that low of health. So that is that team. So I just wanted to shout out to that. I apologize, I don't remember the name of the person that was suggesting this. because there was quite a few different people suggesting droid teams. I was actually one of them, because some of us actually want to see this. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. Here's another one: Lobot L3 BB8 IG86 and 88. So we're kind of getting a light call back to having the old droid meta, except obviously B2 is subbed out. Well, Lobot's subbed out HK, L3 subbed out B2, and BB8 subbed out Engineer. So yeah, but for the most part, yeah, seems like a really solid team. You got your Hail, the Cleanse, the Taunt. Unfortunately, you don't have a Dispel. It's the only downside. But you could still work with it, especially since IG86 does call assists. So we can call an assist with L3. L3 gets more health. And also, with that being said, between more health, she also can heal it back. BB8 to grant tenacity down, and IG88 to, just do high damage. So, yeah, it's always nice. The next one. Now, I said Akbar was the third best, and this is one of the Akbar teams I thought of. So, you have the 3 Astromechs, L3, and Akbar. The reason being, I suggested this team, even though, you could swap Chopper out for Imperial Probe Droid so that you have more consistency of R2's basic hitting off versus R2 and Chopper. But the reason why I like this one is because Chopper also has a chance to cool down allies, rebels, or droid. Well, it's Phoenix and droids, so it'd be droids basically. Cooling down their turn, so it'll help a bit with BB-8. And this whole team has like 1 to 2 special abilities that'll be able to call in assistance. Except when L3 goes to Mark III on her upgrade, then she has no more of a thing. But that's fine. But still, having R2 stealth everyone but one person. Chopper taunts and dispels. BB-8, does his thing. Akbar cleanses and gives a bonus turn to someone. So yeah, there's a lot of synergy with that. Another option that could happen is swap this out for 86 just for extra assistance. But I thought it'd just be a cool team. So that's 5 teams so far. Let's go to the next one. Bear with loading. Should be loaded all the way. Now this is a wacky team. I have a similar team to this, what I use, because right now I don't have Jedi Training Ray. But I use something similar to this to help with because my guild is only working with between tier 4 and 5 of the Sith Raid. And in substituting L3, I have Chopper there. And at least until I get L3 maxed out and all, and then that's who will replace General Kenobi. But L3 is right now in the spot, or Chopper's in this spot, just because it actually, weirdly enough, I can do like up to 1 million or so on tier 5, even though outside of General Kenobi, because he's maxed out, all the droids are between gear 9 or gear 10 and gear 11. Obviously not gear 12, or I do a lot more damage. So this is kind of a fun team. You got IJD8 getting a lot of extra turns, BB8. Of course, like I said, Chopper's in this spot. But hey, at least it's a team that you could use. And also, one of the things I will always talk about is BB8 taunting. I feel like BB8 should not be a tank and taunt. I don't know why he taunts. I feel like that should be reworked to maybe giving himself tenacity up, just to protect the fact of him wanting to go off. It'll help, in my opinion, better than a taunt. Leave the taunting to actual tanks. But yeah, still, this would be a cool team, though. This would be a great team. And I think that's another reason why droid teams actually do have a rough time, is because BB-8 doesn't get it rarely gets a chance to go off, just because he's taunting, and so everyone's going to ability block him, stun him, or just take him out really quickly. Han Solo gets through his foresight just with his basics, and that's just horrible. That's why I don't like the idea of him taunting. Give him tenacity up, or I think stealth would be a little too much, but tenacity up would not hurt. Tenacity up for 1 turn. But he'd always be granting himself that, yes, there's a chance of it being dispelled, etc. Maybe not tenacity up, something, more worthwhile than taunting. But outside of that, going back to this, though, this is a crazy interesting team, but at least you have General Kenobi, which I'm surprised some of the old droid meta teams didn't use General Kenobi in place of someone. Because sometimes some of the droid teams would go 80, 86, 88 under HK lead and then do Jawa Engineer and Jawa Scavenger. And I would, or not, Jawa Engineer and Chief Nibbit. I would sub Nibbit out for Kenobi, just for the cleansing and the better taunting. Another HK team, moving on, is pulling up. Again, I apologize. I don't know what's taking a while to load these teams up. Of course, I don't have a test account, or I'd actually have them pulled up in a more fancier game-like way. But this one is a L3 BB-8 team, but with extra damage through 86 and 88. So you're getting a lot of extra damage from 86, 88. 86 is also calling assists. He's just helping the team out so much, so much. And that's really what you want. Another one is this one, where you sub out the same team as the previous one, but instead of 88, you have Imperial Probe Droid just for dispelling, which is really good. So yeah, a lot of these teams are just kind of, you still have your L3 here and there. You have most of them have BB-8, but some of them always sub it out for R2 or Chopper. This next one, if I remember right, does not. Yeah, it does not have BB-8. This one's another one. But this one also has IG-86. This one's a team I call Droid Assistance. So obviously every HK and L3, but you also have Chopper. Chopper, does his assistance and so on, where he does his 30% chance to assist when a droid attacks. IG-88 or IG-86 calls an assistance, which would be any of these droids. So they're going to get extra critical damage. R2-D2's there to buff the team up and make it do a little more damage. So yeah, that's that team. And I don't know, if I actually had this team concept built, I would love to try this out. And you also have Dispelling with Chopper, which is nice. And yes, you could theoretically swap Chopper out for Probe Droid, but hey, I'm just giving some random test concept teams. And also, a lot of these test concept teams are great for territory wars. And this is the last team here. But going back to it though, before we talk about this team, going through territory wars, having at least a droid team never hurts. Of course, when they rework some more droids, add a few more droids, it'd be great to have maybe 2 up to 3 droid teams. That'll be phenomenal. I would love that. But for the most part, we're at where we're at right now. Of course, Lobot does help giving us a second droid team, in a sense. But anyways, HK-47 with L3 BB-8, a lot, like I said, L3 and BB-8 actually do work really well together, outside of the taunting effect of BB-8. But like if there's an AoE that ever happens and BB-8 has Foresight, he does heal the team up with 8% health and protection, and then L3 really heals it up. Like I said with the first team, Urzatron's team, you gotta check that video out. He does really well with that team, and he actually won. It was a surprise because Lobot teams usually don't win, but he actually beat for the most part, a meta team. I could be wrong a little bit just because Nest is not Wampa, but at the same time, Nest has some things that the Wampa doesn't have, and vice versa. So I personally call it a meta team, especially since those type of meta teams tend to also take out like Trey and Palp teams and stuff like that. But yeah, these are the 10 droid teams that I've come up with L3. Obviously, there's a few more combinations I may have not come out with. Of course, once we get reworks, especially for HK-47, that'll be the day when we really have a droid meta come back. I feel like if they rework HK-47, I honestly think I would have loved... One thing I would have loved to do in some of these places for Chopper is run K2SO. Just because there's another tank taunting, so you're bouncing between 2 tanks, and they keep taunting at random intervals or at random times, and that can be really annoying. So it's just right now droids are kind of lacking in some areas, and hopefully a droid rework it would be on the way. I think there's a high chance there's a droid rework in the next 2 to 4 months, give or take. I'm predicting this, of course. Can't guarantee anything. I'm not part of the company. But it's just because of the fact that they're starting to do Clone Wars stuff for Star Wars Battlefront too, and because they're going to be releasing General Grievous, Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan for playable heroes in Battlefront, and that's going to be a Clone Wars era time. They're going to be adding a couple of new maps and stuff. So because SWGOH's been trying to keep up with the current canon and media and the movies and stuff like that, we're probably going to get some of that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when that actual time comes along. But again, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What team you'd like to try out of the teams I come up with. Did you ever come up with a better team? Again, there's also the droid teams, with BB-8, R2, and 2 other droids with Jedi Training Rey. That is a very possible option, since Jedi Training Rey already runs with 2 droids. So theoretically, you could use Jedi Training Rey, and then you have, Imperial Probe Droid in there for extra expose, and then 88 could even be in there, or Chopper could be in there. Well, L3 would definitely be in there too, actually. The L3 would probably be in that 4th slot, and then the 5th one could be Imperial Probe Droid, Chopper, you name it. So, but yeah, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all those watching the videos I make, as I continually get a little bit better over time. But again, thanks for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.